is our duty as human beings to push forward into the unknown.
It's a reboot of the Fantastic Four on film. But is it fantastic? Richard Crouse is here with the answer, along with other weekend movie reviews. The voice is there.
The voice is the inner world. It's that voice, the inner world voice. I wish we lived in a world where the Fantastic Four was actually fantastic, but it's not. At best, this should be called, maybe, it should have a subtitle like Fantastic Four, Failure to Launch. Fantastic Four, Prologue would be a good subtitle for this, because the whole movie feels like a trailer for the movie that they should have made.
Oh boy.
And so what you're seeing here is an origin story. You've got good actors, Miles Teller, Kate Mara, Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Bell. These are all really good, top-of-the-line young actors who were given virtually nothing to do but stare at one another and speak in kind of millennial platitudes. We can't change the past, but we can change the future. That kind of stuff.
I could have written that.
Well, yeah, you know what? I think I did in grade 5. And that's the problem with this, is that nothing happens for an hour. The fantastic stuff doesn't happen for an hour. And then when it does, it feels like a completely different movie. So you've got this build-up of these characters getting to know one another and talking and staring at one another and tinkering with machinery. And then all of a sudden they become the Fantastic Four characters. And you have essentially what is a mopey teenage boy who turns into a rock, Stretch Armstrong, Elastic Man, a girl that turns invisible, and then a literal flaming ball of fire in the form of Michael B. Jordan. And you don't really care about any of them beforehand. You certainly don't once they turn into their characters. And it feels like the director just at one point said, you know what, enough.
Whatever.
I'm out. Just do whatever you're going to do. Do things that we've seen 1,000 times before, because that's all anybody wants to see. So with the cast that they have, I gave it 2 stars, but it's at best this could maybe be called the Fair Four.
Oh, the Fair.
Rather than Fantastic Four.
Shaun the Sheep.
On the other hand, Shaun the Sheep is an animated stop-motion picture. It is based on a television show which is based on a character from the old Wallace and Gromit movies. Wallace and Gromit. Everybody loves Wallace and Gromit. This is stop-motion animation about Shaun the Sheep. He is a sheep who lives on a farm, Mossy Bottom Farms, and he's tired of the farmer always looming over him. So they come up with a rather complicated way of getting the farmer out of their lives for a day so the sheep can have some fun. He ends up getting amnesia, going to the big city, and because he's been shearing sheep for so long, he becomes a superstar hairstylist in the big city, and Shaun the Sheep then has to figure out how to get him back on the farm. They miss him. They want him back. This is smart. It's funny. There's no dialogue. There are sound effects.
No dialogue.
There's no dialogue. Don't let that scare you. Every inch of this screen is filled with something fantastic to look at virtually every second of the movie. It's funny. It's smart. People are going to like this. Kids will love it. Adults will find something in here. It's a 4-star movie for me. I was really taken with Shaun the Sheep.
That just sounds like pure entertainment.
It is.
I love it. Okay, The Gift.
The Gift is also a pretty good movie. We should have called like the Fantastic Shaun the Sheep movie, or the Fantastic Gift rather than Fantastic Four. So Jason Bateman is an actor who comes with a lot of goodwill. He's made a lot of comedies. You think you know what kind of character he's going to play in the movie. And at the first part of this movie, where he's playing the husband to Rebecca Hall, young couple, they've moved from Chicago back to his hometown of Los Angeles. You think, oh, seems like a nice guy, successful. They're trying to have a child. They live in one of those houses that only people in the movies ever live in.
Those good
all
houses.
That kind of stuff. And then someone from his past comes up, and then gifts start arriving, and you realize that there's a darkness to his past, and he turns into a different kind of character. And that's the shock of this movie. That's the reveal of this movie. It's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling it for anybody. But it is a psychological thriller that takes its time, step by step by step, deconstructing its characters, and it's fantastic. It's a good movie. And so 3.5 stars. And it's one of those things that afterwards, you'll go out for a coffee or a drink afterwards and argue about which guy is the bad guy.
I've always thought that Bateman is such an amazing actor, and he's done a lot of things, but I've always thought that he deserves to be up there with the best of the best.
Well, and this is going to be one of those steps that gets him doing Well, I don't want to say more interesting stuff,
Yeah.
but different stuff than he's been doing.
By the way, with Fantastic Four, that isn't. Who is it directed at, age group wise? Like, what'd you
Fantastic
say?
Four would be teens,
Yeah.
mid-teens, 14, 15, 16, yeah. And then Ricky and the Flash, we don't have time for, but my review's online
Okay.
with Meryl Streep.
Awesome. Richard, thanks so much.
Thank you.
You'll find Richard's movie reviews on our website, canadaam.ctvnews.ca.